So you're a high school offensive lineman and you'd like to play college ball. Today we're talking about the 5 things you're going to need to show on your highlight video. It's the Gridiron Stud Show. Hey, I'm talking to you. Recruiting advice for everyone. It's the Gridiron Stud Show. So you're a high school football player and you're down in the trenches every Friday night. You love the action in there. You love moving guys around. You want to continue to do this on the college football level. So we need to talk about what your highlight video needs to look like so you can attract college football scouts and be offered a scholarship, hopefully, to move on to the next level. Before we do that though, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'm making videos like this on a weekly and monthly basis that will be of definite help to you if you're trying to play college ball. And if you like the video, feel free to like and be sure to share this video with someone else that may need this information. All right, let's get down to the matter at hand. I think there's 5 very important things you're going to need to show on your highlight video if you're a high school offensive lineman, if you want to attract the attention of college football coaches that are looking for the next guy to come into their program and be in the trenches and open up those spaces for the running backs and provide some protection for the quarterbacks. So let's talk about what those 5 things are right now. Number 1, and this should come as no surprise to anyone, especially you guys that play in the offensive line, you got to show your ability to run block. Hey, I know it's a passing league. I know quarterbacks get all the love, but you're really not a good football team. You're not going to reach your goals if you can't run the football, and virtually all good coaches know this. So if you got a guy that can't add something to the run game at center, you're going to have a really, really big problem. So the number 1 thing you're going to need to show on that highlight video is your ability to block. Can you move guys off of the line of scrimmage and create lanes? Because you're right there in the middle of the offense. That is the epicenter of everything. So if we can't run the ball up the middle of our offense, we're going to have some serious problems. And it all starts with the center. So your ability to move guys out of the way, especially when you have those big 0 techniques or 1 techniques that sit in the gap or sit over you and want to cause them mayhem, the defense is putting them there because they want all the running stopped. So what can you, as the center, do to move those guys out of there? It's the number 1 thing I think you need to show on your highlight video. When a coach cuts that thing on, whether you are just digging guys up out of there because you've got strength like that, and hopefully you do, but even sometimes when you have to be crafty and redirect a guy, position your feet, position your body to open up a lane, to allow your team to run the ball right down to center of that defense. If you can show those kind of skills early on in your highlight video, that's going to attract the attention of the college football coaches that are out there looking for a center that's going to be able to help their team in all facets of the game. It starts with the run, and in the run game, it starts with what the center can do. So be sure that you're showing that you can, again, move guys out of the way and open up some space in the middle of the defense for you guys to be able to run the football. Number 2 is your football IQ. Believe it or not, on a lot of football teams, I would say even a majority of them, one of the smartest guys on the football field is that center. And in many offenses, the center is the one that makes the calls. Now, some quarterbacks will do it, but you'd be surprised. A lot of centers are the guys that are making the line calls and making the calls and picking up blitzes and things of that nature. So you've got to be able to show your ability to do that. You may be in one of those really run-heavy offenses where all you do is pound the ball, but even when doing that, you're still a guy who has to be able to make certain calls so that the run blocks, that the proper guys are blocked, moved out of the way to open up gaps. If you're in a more balanced offense, or even if you're in a pass-happy offense, anything that's showing you, pointing out potential blitzers, or pointing out certain guys that are in gaps that are going to be a potential problem for the play that's about to be run, it's important that you do that. Show that you have a football IQ, because when that guy in the middle has the smarts, then really the rest of that unit tends to be a whole lot smarter too. Really helps the quarterback, really helps the offensive line play as a unit, and it just really helps things flow a whole lot smoother. Offensive coaches, though you don't get talked about much as a center, they don't get a whole lot of love. Ask any offensive coach worth his salt about if that center is not smart, how difficult it is to maneuver and run that offense if that guy right there in the middle touching the ball each and every play does not have some IQ about him. So anything on film that you can show that you have some sense, you understand the offense, you understand what the defense is trying to do, and you are able to get your team in the right position and get guys on the right blocks to make the offense work, is going to be a benefit for you when college football coaches are looking at your film. Number 3 is your ability to block on the second level. We've talked about the brawn, we've talked about the brains, now you've got to show a little bit of athleticism. There used to be a time where a center could just snap the ball, fire out, and just push guys out of the way and create space for the runs. But offenses have gotten a little more finesse, a little more technical. And yes, I know you guys love to bash into people, but every now and then you're going to have to be able to show a little bit of athleticism, especially when it comes to second level blocks in the run game. Are you able to put a hand on a lineman that's trying to penetrate through a gap, hold him up, secure him, maybe get some movement on him with your guard, and then move out to the second level where you have more athletic linebackers? Are you able to get out there and pick up your blocks? There's so many centers that try to do this, especially at the high school level, that aren't very good at picking up those linebackers as they pursue on a run play. A center that could handle his first level job with a down lineman and then get off of that block to the second level and be quick enough to get good positioning. I'm not mean just touching the linebacker. I mean getting out to that second level and positioning himself on the linebacker where he either cuts him off from the play or just totally eliminates him to where he's not even a factor in the pursuit. That's going to be absolutely valuable for you when that college coach is looking at your highlight video. Of course, they feel like they'll be able to teach you those things, but as much of that you can show, which of course involves some athleticism and some quick feet, as much of that as you can show, they know there's less of that they have to concern themselves with once you get on campus. So being able to block on the second level is going to be a tremendous help for you as an offensive lineman when you're trying to attract college coach attention. All right, number 4, running the ball is great. I know offensive linemen love that. They love to get the ball snapped and fire out straight ahead. But let's be honest, unless you're going to one of the service academies, you're going to be involved in quite a bit of pass blocking. So you're going to need to show your pass blocking skills when you are trying to attract the attention of college football coaches. Now, I know a lot of people take this for granted, snapping that football and getting set up in a pass blocking stance to take on, whether it's a bull rushing defensive tackle or positioning himself on maybe a linebacker who's a little more athletic than you. People take that for granted. As a center, I know you know what that means, so you need to be able to show the ability to do that. If you're in a run-happy offense, and that's really not a part of you guys' game, I suggest you get some camp film out there that you can send to coaches, because if they just can't see you pass blocking, it's going to diminish your value as an offensive lineman. They've got to be able to see you doing that. So, aside from what you're doing in the games on Fridays, if you have clips where you are pass blocking and doing very well at it, you're going to want to show that. But if you don't have those available because, again, you have a run-happy offense, then you're going to need to take clips from your camps that you go to. Maybe you work with a trainer and there's a good amount of one-on-one stuff that you do. You're going to need to show clips of that as well. It's super important, again, because you're in the middle of that offense, that you have the ability to snap that football quickly, both under center and from the shotgun, and get set up and block and not allow a lot of penetration into the face of the quarterback. Are you able to set up, bow your back, use good technique, and again, stop the bull rush or the rush from the more athletic guys that are trying to get around you. The other thing too is you have some defensive linemen that are really, really good with their hands, and they can be very difficult to block as well. If you've had a game or two against guys like that and you showed the ability to position yourself and keep them off of the quarterback, you definitely want to include those. So I know there's a lot of high schools out there where you're running a wing T, or you're in a bear offense or something where there's not a whole lot of passing going on. It's just not something that's a strength for you guys. Find a way to get those kind of clips onto your highlight video. However many times you threw it, if you did well in that, definitely get that on there, and then include camp video as well. And finally, number 5, some may consider this a bonus. I do not. I think this absolutely has to be a part of you as a center, especially in this day and age. That is your ability to pull. It gives your offense so many more options when they're trying to block up a defense in the run game. Some centers can do it, some can't. If you can, you definitely want to get that on your highlight video. It makes you extremely valuable. Can you snap the ball and at least get around on a full block? That means wrapping around the lineman that's next to you to kick out a defender to open up some gaps on the inside. If you can snap that football, get down the line and kick out on an end, that is going to even help you even more. And if you have the ability, like some of the best centers out there, especially the one that's leaving out of Iowa this year, snap that football and get down the line, get around the corner, and lead a running back around the corner on a zone play or some kind of a sweep play, then you have added maximum value to your highlight video and to college coaches that are taking a look at you. Yes, I understand in the offensive line, there's certain height and there's size requirements. I get that. If there's anyone on the offensive line who can get away with being a little bit smaller, it is that center, if he has a strong IQ and if he has some athletic ability. One really good way to show your athletic ability is to be able to snap and pull down the line and help out the offense with numbers when they're trying to attack the defense on the perimeter. So if you have clips where you snap the football and you pull, you definitely want to include those. If that's not a part of your offensive scheme, again, if you go to a trainer or if you're in a camp setting where they're asking you to do that and there's drills like that, you're definitely gonna wanna show that. If you're athletic at center, again, it really, really helps any team that you're going to, and it's a big plus for you in recruiting when you're trying to show your value to as many colleges as you can. So that fifth thing, I hesitate to call it a bonus because it's going to be asked of more and more centers, is your ability to pull after you've snapped that football, whether it's from shotgun, sometimes even under center as well. So there you have it. Those 5 things are really, really important for centers to include on their highlight videos. Again, just in my general advice to guys that are making highlight videos, you don't want to make it too long. 2 to 4 minutes is all you need. You're really just trying to show the ability that you have. You're not trying to make a feature-length film. Shouldn't be 6, 8, 10 minutes long. They're not gonna watch it that long. To be honest, a college coach knows within that first minute whether or not you're a guy that can play for them. So within that first 60 seconds of his maximum attention, you're gonna wanna include these 5 things that I've talked about. Don't put all the run blocks and then put all the pass blocks and then put a series of blocks with you pass blocking or pulling. You don't want to do it that way. You want to mix all those things I talked about within your first 10 clips, definitely within the first minute of your highlight video, so that you are showing that coach within that first 60 seconds all of the great things that you'll be able to do for him if he decides to sign you up. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you liked it, go ahead and hit the like button and share this video with some friends. And you know what? You guys out there that play center, you are one of the more underrated guys out there. I'd like to know, who do you guys idolize? Who is your favorite offensive lineman that's out there in the game right now? Show them some love in the comments. And as I said in the beginning, go ahead and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at GridironStuds. Definitely follow me on Instagram and TikTok. It's at GridironStuds. You see it right here on the screen. Go ahead and follow me there as well. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And until next time, Gridiron Studs, Chad Wilson.